welcome to the daily travel briefing. I'm your host, Tusto Hops. Here's the deal. Every day I'm going to bring to you 5 things happening in travel that can change where you're going, how you get there, and what you pay or what you need to know before you get there. Okay? So, first story. If you're going into Europe, the EES and the Schengen borders, so there's a Schengen area, not a shenanigan or not a Schengen, it's a Schengen borders. Make sure you give yourself some time because Europe's new entry and exit system is in full effect. It is up and running and it has been causing some delays for some. Keep in mind, if you're in the US, you're aware of this, you're kind of used to this where biometrics are collected. They're going to be doing the same thing. So you're going to go into the airports, you're going to have to do your biometrics, your fingers and things like that, take a picture, scan your passport, all that good stuff. Just give yourself time and you should be all right. Here's the problem. The rollout has been pretty rough. People are reporting that there are long lines, there are missed connections, and as well as some cases, they just, their records are not matching up. So it's a new environment, it's a new system, they have implemented. I come from a world of implementing new systems. They should not have these big problems. If they did not do it right. But if they're having it, just give yourself the time just in case you run into any of these problems. So here's my advice. If you're landing in any of the Schengen areas, if you don't know them, write me a comment and I will send it to you. And you have a US passport and you do not book a tight connection right after immigration, give yourself some room. Do not think just because you're in Europe, your connection is going to be easy and you're going to be able to make your next flight. That's not always the case. So make sure you have a very good connection, especially if you're landing into Europe and then you're flying out of Europe to another European destination. You want to make sure you still have you want to give yourself some more time. Another story that's going on, this is a fun one. So Seattle is opening up their direct flights to Athens, Greece. So for all of you Seattleans out there that are trying to fly directly into Europe or going to any of those pretty islands you see online from Greece, hey, if you're in Seattle, they fly directly to Athens, and they're going to start that next year in May. So start looking into that. That's going to be a nice connection into the European theater, into the Balkan world. So take a look and make sure you kind of stay tuned for that. Munich just opened up. Dean Munich just basically opened up the Marriott and Autograph Collection Hotel. Looks really nice. There's about over 280 rooms. There's an 80s style artwork. They have a bar called Servus Heidi. Servus is a greetings here in Bavaria. I'm not in Bavaria, but I would just say here in Bavaria. But it's and Servus Heidi is the bar, and it's built around Bavarian local food and as well as local beer. So if you're in Munich and you're staying in hotels and you're looking at it, the Marriott has a new Autograph Collection Hotel. I did take a look, being a Marriott person myself, and you're looking at the hotels running from, at least in September, they're going to go from $160. And if you're going to go down to the Oktoberfest and you want to stay there, you're going to start looking at $600 a night for that hotel. If you can afford it, why not do it? So if you are in the Caribbean area, let's say close to Barbados, or you could fly to Barbados. Barbados is hanging out and opening up 2 different resorts. Why is this important? I think it's nice to know. Some of you might go into these all-inclusive, or you kind of just go to your resort that you like that has everything you need. And Barbados is starting to give 2 new hotels that have kind of a different feeling. One is an urban feeling to it. It's more in an urban area. And then there is the Paynes Bay, which is more kind of outskirts. So Hotel Indigo, Bridgetown, Barbados, and as well as the Paynes Bay, which is the Blue Monkey. So check out the Blue Monkey and check out the Hotel Indigo. If you know about Barbados, I think I'm going to keep that in my mind next time I want to try to go to the Caribbean. The next story, the last and not least, it's come out. September used to be the cheat code to travel in Europe. September used to be the cheap time, the cheap flights. October was also, but people are starting to catch up and understand this cheat code. There's a lot of people who know that this is a cheap time to fly, so that cheap time is starting to run out. Usually in September and October there are fewer crowds, there's still good weather, cheap flights. Yeah, so ABTA's 2026 data shows that 24% of Brits are now planning September holidays. So guess what? The Brits have caught up and they're starting to travel in that time frame. So you might see those areas which might have been a little bit less crowdy starting to be a little busier these days. So don't assume that September is automatically means cheap, as well as some tips to you. Look at flights and hotels separately. They might be cheaper. Sometimes you might find a 70 euro flight to Mallorca and then realize everybody else found the same flight, or now your hotel's 280, right? So you got to be careful. Just look it out, look over those. One to watch before tomorrow: if anyone's flying into Norwich Airport, don't expect business as usual. The airport is closed to all traffic tomorrow, August 28th, because of a 24-hour air traffic control strike. Nothing scheduled in or out. That's the kind of disruption that sucks. So if you're flying into that airport, fly somewhere different. Guys, this is Justo Hops. This is your first daily briefing. I'm going to come to you with 5 points every day if there's anything to come up with. So just another tip of the day: if you're heading to Europe on a non-EU passport, think to make sure you have enough time for that entry and exit process that they have now in place. And yeah, 5-minute connections are no longer there. See you in the next daily briefing.